I was wrong about Venom. So while I was playing Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus, I was keeping an open mind about how Venom was created in the game. And even the first 4 times I played it, I was wondering what his motivations were. And I finally found them. And I like this version of the character. But to understand this version of Venom, we have to talk about the host, our boy Harry Osborn. When we first meet Harry, he wants to help people. And that lines up perfectly with what his plans were in Spider-Man PS4. And he feels happy and he wants to share this with Peter, who he wants to complete this with at his side. And he took the idea and wanted to make it into something that is bright. And it's clear the symbiote has learned from the host, especially Harry, about how to be happy. Though we don't know what it has been through, but it's very clear that it learns from its host. Shout out to Colin for actually making a really good analysis on it. I'll leave his link down in the description below.
The symbiote seems to amplify whatever emotions you're feeling or have pent up. With Harry, he feels like he has a new beginning, and so on top of the symbiote making Harry feel energetic due to the obvious physical enhancement and second chance that he just got to realize his mom's vision, it also makes him feel even more happy and optimistic.
And once the symbiote sees that Peter is the stronger host than Harry, it wants to bond with him. And once Harry finds out that Peter's Spider-Man, they both have two things in common, which is helping people. And it goes so far as to even try to get the spider symbol on its chest to show us that it would rather be with Peter. And then this is when Kraven comes in. When Kraven kills Peter, he made Harry very angry, which is one of the emotions that the symbiote hasn't felt yet, which is anger. And then once it got to Peter, it knew exactly how he liked to fight, which is due to it seeing all of Peter's memories, as well as seeing what Peter's been going through, as well as seeing into Peter's head and how he feels about killing, which he views as the easy way to get rid of all the pain in his life and also keep everybody safe. But he knows that killing is bad, which is the reason why he doesn't do it. But the symbiote twisted that, and Peter changed the symbiote just how it changed him. Now, I do want to take it back to Kraven for a second too, because when he destroyed the EMF, both Peter and Norman are looking at it like it's just a thing. And we know that Harry hates this because helping people is what Peter and Harry want to do. And when we start seeing Harry not do anything and he starts to feel helpless again, and once Bully Lowenthal says that all he wants to do is to save him, we see Peter talk to Norman and sees that he doesn't know what to do to save Harry's life, which I take as a sign that Norman sees Peter as the son he never had, which Harry sees as the final blow, that Peter is giving up on him, as well as I think that this is also backed up by the fact that when Harry had the symbiote, he was happy and felt great, and Peter changed when he got it. And when MJ tells Peter that the symbiote is changing him, Harry doesn't know what is going on at all, because all Harry is seeing is his best friend treating him like shit while he's dying, which leads into Dr. Connors trying to tell Peter that he needs to get the symbiote off of him, which to me connects back to the scene where we see the symbiote start to fear for its life of being destroyed. And even after seeing that Peter got it off, it feels abandoned and given up on, just like how Harry was. And that feeling of being abandoned mixed in with the anger that both Peter and Harry feel create Venom. Now, my favorite moment of this is the final Kraven boss fight, which shows that they both want to complete their goals before they die and how their bodies betrayed them, as well as the dialogue where Venom says that him and Harry were separated because of Kraven, which is referring back to the scene earlier on how the symbiote got to Kraven and when Kraven killed Peter. And then it takes what it knows that Peter is about to do to Kraven and it kills him. Along with that, senior narrative writer John Paquette said that Kraven was going to be the cause of everything that was going to happen in Marvel Spider-Man 2.
For us, it really started with Kraven. He's our catalyst for the story.
Because if you go back and listen to some of Venom's dialogue from the final Kraven boss fight, he blames Kraven for everything that happened.
We were separated because of you. You destroyed our work, hurt our friends.
And once Harry gets to his mom's grave, Venom starts to twist Harry and Peter's dream to heal the world and to keep everybody safe, which it learned from Harry, and it learned that a hive mind is the best way by making everybody into symbiotes. Then we get to Peter and Harry at Peter's house, and at this point, Harry and the symbiote are in sync, and it hates being called a thing, because to them, being called a thing means that they're useless, and that by this point, the symbiote now has its own emotions, because it was with Harry longer than it was with Peter. Which leads me to the next reason why Venom wants Peter to join him, which is because he knows that Harry wants Peter with him to complete it, because it sees Peter as the perfect host and wants to help him. And in the final boss fight, Venom is done with Miles ruining his plans, and even mentions that Miles is the reason why Peter won't join him and that he's holding Peter back. As well as he blames Miles for splitting him and Peter apart, which is a reference to the Peter boss fight, and that's also the main reason why Venom tries to kill Miles at the end and not Peter, because it still sees Peter as the best host for him, and it doesn't want to give up on believing that. And at this point, Harry is no longer there until he gets enough strength to come back and control for a short time. My only problem with this is that I would have loved to have seen more of both characters, and I do feel that if Harry had a lot more build up to the point where his transformation could have been a lot more worth it, as well as the more scenes of Harry talking to Miles, which could have made it a little bit more interesting. Along with that, they took a lot of stuff from different iterations of Harry Osborn as well, from the TASM 1 with the Lizard to the TASM 2, as well as the Ultimate Spider-Man series as well, which I feel like they did an amazing job at. Another thing that threw us off is that Bill Roseman said that Venom wants to kill Spider-Man, not heal the world. So we didn't know what it was going to be like whenever we saw Venom for the first time. As well as the TASM references are all over the place in the narrative, because once it goes back to Harry, we see him break out of Oscorp, which is taken directly from a deleted scene from TASM 2, and the Symbiote City Takeover, which is a reference to Lizard City from TASM 1, as well as Web of Shadows as well, which is the main inspiration that everybody knows it from. But other than that, this version of Venom is not comic accurate, and having a fresh take on the villain makes it more interesting despite it pissing everyone off for no legitimate reason. It just feels like a barrel of sodium and foam at the mouth, because a villain is different and it doesn't reflect who they are as a character. Yeah, sure, it differs from person to person, but the idea of comic accuracy doesn't need to be applied for what the developers are trying to make, and instead find out new ways they can make the villain stand out more in terms of motivation. And that's what this version of Venom does. He stands out instead of being the same all around. And that's how I changed my mind on Venom and Marvel Spider-Man 2. I know that there were probably a lot of points that I missed, but I feel like I touched on it well enough in the probably 6 or 10 minutes you gave me. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys want more in the future, let me know. I'll see you guys later with another banger.